Today, from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the AFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Vegas Raiders versus Patrick Mahomes and the Cincinnati Bengals.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first of four berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
All in all, he was pretty solid in the victory in the wild card round and threw a couple of touchdowns. And when it comes to quarterback play, you'd always love spectacular. But in the playoffs, you'll take solid. And that's exactly what they're looking for from him again in this contest.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
That's a very nice game there, a confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Swift. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 39, Mahomes complete. The tight end Kelsey. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
It's 2nd and inches.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. A.J. Boye up to make the tackle.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Now it's Swift. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He completes this to Sutton. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
At the 25.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line. I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time. Mahomes firing complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. And it's a clinic that we're seeing put on here so far. 6 for 6 first drive of the game for him passing. You know, I'm a defensive guy, and while I'm admiring the heck out of what they're doing, throwing the ball around, all I keep thinking is this is where the quarterback has to go down. You've got to ruffle his timing, change things up, get some more pressure on him, because right now he's way too comfortable in throwing the ball downfield. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And he's got it. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. They'll run with Swift. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. So much for being intimidated on the road in the playoffs, right? That was a pretty clinical drive right there. Yeah, they seem to come out with the attitude of, we don't deal with pressure. We create it on the other team. Just took it right down the field and stuffed it in the end zone. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. DeAndre Carter returning it. And able to get this out to the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
In playoff games in and of themselves, we know they're pressure-filled. That's not breaking any news, but you have to wonder how much added pressure this team feels, given that a perfect season is on the line. They heard it during the regular season. Now they've sat at home for 2 weeks hearing about it. Can they handle that as well as the team that they're facing in order to try and advance?
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first.
Pick up of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 30.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll go out near midfield at the 40
when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram, takes to midfield but no further, just a yard there.
From the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
The 50-yard line. A gain of a yard.
The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield.
He was taken down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bengals 7, Raiders nothing.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Brady going to throw. Brady loses the football. And the Bengals have recovered it.
That's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
The start out here with a jet sweep. And fights through one man. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play fake. Mahomes. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 28-yard line.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
No, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 29.
On the counter, Ingram.
Mark Ingram, the ball carrier.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
From the gun, it's Brady. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
They certainly have the right read on that one. The weak spot in a cover 2 defense, right down the middle because it really stresses the safeties. And they're going to be a little bit frustrated they weren't able to connect on that one.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
And they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Running is Swift. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Mahomes to throw.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
A gain of 9.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. From the gun, here's Swift. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Mahomes now to throw. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And a Bengal 1st down.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0.
Bengals 13. Raiders nothing.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on Divisional Round Weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful Divisional Round Weekend. Now throwing on first down and completing it. 7 yards, the pickup there. Brady saying, let's go, as he'll hustle him to the line. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes on the ground that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Brady again. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham.
Brady's pass.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
27-yard line.
Throwing again on second down. Brady over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On first down, Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's Kahn. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Gronkowski. A gain of 4. It's now second.
Again, they'll throw with Brady.
The 17.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And it's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Check in the final seconds of the first half, and the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, a full half to be played. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 13-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will make it into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. So it's on to halftime of this AFC Divisional Round matchup. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This the first of 4 Divisional Round matchups coming up this weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other Divisional Round games in the AFC. And it looks like a good one, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens doing battle with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional Round. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Shotgun now for Brady. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and...
On 2nd and 9. Brady. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Brady's pass. Complete to Mark.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line.
Ball carrier.
There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack.
Tackle. 4 yards on the pickup. Second.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
6. Brings up 3rd and inches.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. First down, and they go with Swift again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Ball carrier.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He completes this to Sutton. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there and a first down.
Cincinnati.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Khalil Mack. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down.
A.J. Boye on the
Throwing now is Mahomes. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Alden Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just outside his own goal line. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a 1st down right out of the gate.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And he finds Gronk. And he's going to get this inside the 30. back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Ndamukong Suh, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now the pressure gets to him again. Sam Hubbard in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Brady, and that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On play action, it's Mahomes. Shakes off the sack. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Khalil Mack, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
After the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes firing quickly here, and that's complete. Mahomes pass. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 yards. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And the Raiders have got him. Tyson Alualu. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And this one not officially in the bag, but it's looking more and more like you and I are going to be in these same seats next week for a game to go to the Super Bowl.
Man, it's contrary to our meeting with the visitors, wasn't it? Remember when we went over to your hotel before the game and
popped in the air and intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Incomplete. It's second down and 10.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Aldon Smith able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Take over 1st and 10.
Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
At the 33-yard line.
From the gun, it's Brady. He's got his big tight end, Gronkowski. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there, 1st down. From the gun, Brady. And a heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's able to get it back to the 31-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey.
Mahomes pass.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Brings up 3rd.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Aldon Smith Getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
2nd and 4 at the 16-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady, caught left side. It's Beckham. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. After the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. A few better down a score in the 4th quarter than Tom Brady. This is 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Brady. And a quick throw here. That's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pick.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Brady's pass there, complete to Gronkowski. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 13. It's a first. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Now a carry for Swift. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Once again, it's Swift. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They run out of the gun with Swift. They didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. So they file for the exits here in silence. And what a job to come in on the road, divisional round of the playoffs, and you get to end it by going down to a knee.
Now their confidence has to be at an extreme high. That's 2 weeks in a row they've gone on the road and gotten it done. They don't care where they go. From here on out, they think they can beat anyone.
Today's final score.
And looking at it from the perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round, it all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating what a great year they had. Let's face it, when it's all said and done, they were one of 8 teams left with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl. That's a pretty darn good season.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.